Ever wonder how to be that person? You know, the one whose absence is deeply felt, the one people genuinely miss. We're not talking about like attention-grabbing tactics here,
Right.
but a deeper approach, one rooted in Stoicism, actually.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you actually requested a deep dive into this.
I did, yeah.
And it turns out it's about becoming so personally magnetic. Like people can't help but feel the void when you're gone.
It's fascinating, isn't it, that instead of focusing on like how to make someone miss you, it's about becoming the kind of person whose presence, enriches others so much that they just naturally feel the gap.
So it's not about like tricks or manipulation, but actual self-improvement.
Exactly. And one of the core principles the source dives into is self-sufficiency.
Oh.
Not in the sense of becoming a lone wolf or anything like that.
Right.
But it's about cultivating that inner strength and completeness within yourself. Think of it as becoming whole on your own.
Yeah.
You don't need someone else to complete you.
That's intriguing. But how does that make you more appealing to, other people?
Well, it completely flips the script on typical relationship advice,
Oh, okay.
Instead of trying to constantly keep someone's attention, you're focusing on your own growth, which ironically makes you more captivating. It's like the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, absence sharpens love, presence strengthens it.
So by having a rich life outside of the relationship, you actually become more attractive within it.
Precisely. When you're confident and self-reliant, you're not, clinging or desperate for attention.
Right.
It creates a much healthier dynamic.
Yeah.
Leaving space for mutual growth and respect. The other person sees you pursuing your interests, fulfilling your own needs, and it just sparks a natural curiosity.
They start to wonder, like, what you're up to, what makes you tick.
Yeah.
They appreciate that independent spirit.
Exactly. And when you do come together, it's all the more special.
Oh, yeah.
Because you both bring your whole authentic selves to the table. There's a dynamism that simply wouldn't exist if you were, overly dependent on each other.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. The source then moves on to emotional control.
Okay.
Which seems pretty crucial in any relationship, really.
Yeah, for sure.
But is Stoicism about becoming like some kind of emotionless robot?
Not at all. It's not about suppressing feelings, but rather choosing how you respond to them.
Okay.
Think of it as responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively.
So less knee-jerk reactions, more deliberate responses.
Yes. It's about that inner strength. That ability to stay grounded even when things get tough. Like Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events.
So when something frustrating happens, you don't let it like derail your whole day
Right.
or your mood.
Exactly. Because when you can remain calm and collected in, those challenging situations, it creates an aura of mystery and depth. People are drawn to that kind of inner strength.
Yeah.
Because it signals maturity and self-awareness.
It's like that old saying, don't sweat the small stuff.
Right.
But in this case, it's more like, don't let the small stuff control your emotions.
Exactly. And it makes your genuine expressions of emotion even more impactful because they're not muddled by constant, drama. It's like when someone is always freaking out over little things, you eventually tune them out.
Right. You start to take their reactions less seriously.
But when someone is generally calm and collected, their expressions of joy, sadness, or even anger carry more weight.
Yeah.
People notice and remember those who handle themselves with composure and grace.
I can see how that ties back to being unforgettable,
Yeah.
You become someone who stands out from the crowd because you're not letting every little thing ruffle your feathers.
Precisely. Emotional control isn't about being stoic or emotionless.
Right.
It's about choosing to respond with thoughtfulness and intention, which makes a much greater impact.
This is fascinating. It seems like this deep dive is about so much more than just making someone miss you. It's about like personal growth and becoming a more appealing person overall.
You've hit the nail on the head. And this leads perfectly into the next principle the source discusses, intentional communication.
Intentional communication. It sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
What does it actually mean in practice?
It's about choosing your words carefully, speaking with purpose and depth to make conversations, memorable and meaningful. Think of each interaction as an opportunity to connect on a deeper level. You know that quote from Seneca, Speak so you can speak again.
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
It perfectly encapsulates intentional communication, right?
Yeah.
It's about leaving them wanting more,
Yeah.
craving those insightful conversations you bring to the table.
So it's about quality over quantity when it comes to communication.
Absolutely. Think of it as making your words count.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of mindless chatter, you're focusing on truly listening to the other person. Responding in a way that shows you value their thoughts and feelings.
Right.
Asking engaging questions. Sharing insightful stories. Expressing yourself sincerely.
This all sounds great in theory.
Sure.
But sometimes it feels like a lot of effort.
It is. It's an investment, really.
Yeah.
An investment in yourself and the quality of your relationships. And the returns are substantial.
Okay.
Because when you communicate with intention, you create connections that are deeper and more meaningful.
I can definitely see the value in that.
Yeah.
So we've covered self-sufficiency, emotional control, and intentional communication.
Right.
What's next on this path to becoming unforgettable?
This is where it gets really interesting. The source now delves into the concept of embracing absence.
Embracing absence.
Okay. It might seem counterintuitive, but accepting time apart can actually strengthen a connection.
Wait, so you're saying that to make someone miss you, you should spend less time with them?
In a way, yes.
Okay.
But it's more nuanced than that. It's about understanding that quality time often trumps constant proximity.
So it's not about being physically together all the time,
Yeah.
but about making the time you do spend together more meaningful.
Exactly. And embracing absence goes back to self-sufficiency.
Mm-hmm.
When you're comfortable being alone, you don't feel the need to, cling to someone else.
Right.
And paradoxically, that makes you even more attractive.
It does seem counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But I can see the logic.
Yeah.
You're not suffocating the relationship by needing to be together all the time.
Right. And it demonstrates self-awareness.
Yeah.
And a deep understanding of what truly matters in a relationship. Connection, not just proximity. It's like Epictetus said, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. And that includes freedom within a relationship.
Freedom from that need to cling to someone else.
Right.
For your happiness and sense of fulfillment.
Exactly. It allows both people to breathe, to grow, and to come back together, stronger and more connected. It creates that push and pull dynamic that keeps things exciting.
Okay, so embracing absence isn't about ignoring someone or playing hard to get,
No.
but about cultivating a healthy dynamic within the relationship.
Precisely. It's about recognizing that quality time is more important than constant contact.
Wow, this is really making me rethink some things, and I'm loving how these Stoic principles are weaving together so beautifully.
Yeah, me too.
So what's the next piece of the puzzle?
The source now encourages us to explore the idea of mindfulness and interaction.
Mindfulness and interaction.
Okay. Which takes intentionality to a whole new level.
Okay, we already talked about intentional communication.
Right.
How is mindfulness in interaction different?
Well, while intentional communication focuses on the content of your interactions, mindfulness is about the quality of your presence.
Oh!
Think of it as being fully engaged, soaking in each moment as if it were your last.
That sounds incredibly intense.
Yeah.
Like Marcus Aurelius said, do every act of your life as if it were your last.
Exactly. And while it might sound dramatic, it's also incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Because if you approach each interaction with that level of intensity, it transforms the mundane into the meaningful.
I'm starting to see how this could make someone deeply miss your presence. You're not just going through the motions,
Right, yeah.
You're making every moment count.
Right. It's about listening with your whole being, paying attention to their words, their body language, their energy. It's about making them feel truly seen, heard, and valued.
Yeah.
And when you're not around, they miss that depth of connection, that feeling of being deeply understood. They miss the way you made them feel when you were fully present.
So mindfulness in interaction is like a secret weapon for forging truly meaningful connections.
You could say that. It's about elevating the everyday, making every moment count. And when those moments are gone, they linger in the other person's memory, making your absence all the more noticeable.
This is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And I'm eager to dive even deeper into these Stoic strategies for becoming unforgettable.
Me too. There's so much more to unpack.
Yeah.
It really is fascinating how these seemingly simple principles can have such a profound impact on our relationships.
Yeah, it's like we're uncovering a whole new level of connection.
Yeah.
One that goes beyond the superficial.
Exactly. And this brings us to another powerful Stoic principle that the source highlights.
Yep.
Consistency in communication.
Okay, this sounds kind of familiar, but we already talked about intentional communication.
But consistency in communication builds on that foundation.
Okay,
It's not about like bombarding someone with texts or calls,
right.
but about establishing a reliable rhythm of meaningful exchanges.
So it's less about the frequency and more about the quality and the regularity of your communication.
Precisely. It's about finding a balance that works for both of you. Think of it as creating a comforting ritual, a predictable element in their day that they can look forward to. Seneca's wisdom is particularly relevant here. Regularity is a sign of wisdom in communication.
That makes sense. It's like, knowing you can count on that morning coffee or evening walk.
Yeah,
It brings a sense of stability and comfort to your day.
exactly. And when it comes to relationships, that consistency creates a sense of security and dependability. You become a reliable presence in their life, even when you're not physically together.
I can see how that would make someone miss you. That feeling of knowing you're going to hear from them, that they're thinking of you.
Yeah.
It's almost like a silent promise that you're there for them.
Yes. And when that consistent, reliable communication is disrupted, it leaves a noticeable void. It's not about playing games or trying to make someone jealous,
Right?
but rather about demonstrating that you value the connection and are invested in nurturing it.
So it's not about playing hard to get, but about being someone they can genuinely rely on.
Exactly. Now, the source kind of shifts gears a bit and dives into the importance of purposeful living.
Okay, this sounds intriguing. But how does having a life outside of the relationship make you more unforgettable?
It's all about becoming a well-rounded individual, someone who has passions and aspirations beyond the relationship. When you live with purpose, you radiate an energy that's incredibly attractive and inspiring.
So don't become a couch potato. Get out there and chase your dreams.
Exactly. Having goals and pursuing them makes you more interesting, more dynamic. It shows the other person that you have a life you're excited about, which in turn makes the time you spend together even more special.
It's like that spark of passion becomes contagious.
Yes. And as Seneca wisely said, our plans miscarry because they have no aim. When a man does not know what harbor he is making for, no wind is the right wind.
Powerful words. So having a sense of purpose isn't just good for you, it's good for your relationships as well.
Absolutely. When you're fulfilled in your own life, you bring that positive energy and inspiration to your interactions with others.
This is making me want to dust off that old guitar and finally learn how to play.
That's the spirit. Never underestimate the power of pursuing your passions.
Okay, back to the source. It looks like we're getting into the home stretch here. What's next on this journey to becoming unforgettable?
The source now emphasizes the importance of moderation in emotions.
Wait, didn't we already cover emotional control?
We did touch upon it, but this goes a bit deeper. Moderation in emotions is about finding that sweet spot between being overly expressive and too reserved. It's about responding thoughtfully to all situations, both positive and negative.
So it's about maintaining that sense of balance and composure we talked about earlier.
Yes, it's about avoiding unnecessary drama and creating a sense of stability. Remember Marcus Aurelius' words, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury."
Ooh, I like that. So if someone wrongs you, the best response is to rise above their negativity.
Exactly. It's about maintaining your composure and not letting external circumstances dictate your emotional state. And that level of self-control is incredibly attractive. It shows maturity, wisdom, and a deep understanding of your own emotional landscape.
It's about choosing how you respond rather than reacting impulsively.
Precisely. And it ties back into the principle of emotional control we discussed earlier. It's not about suppressing your emotions, but rather about expressing them in a way that's healthy and constructive.
Okay, so don't be a drama queen or king. Moderation is key. What's next?
The source now dives into resilience in adversity.
This one seems pretty self-explanatory. But how does being resilient make you more unforgettable?
It's about demonstrating strength and grace in the face of challenges. When you can weather life's storms without falling apart, it makes you a reliable and comforting presence.
It's about being the rock, the one people can lean on when things get tough.
Exactly. It shows them that you're not going to crumble under pressure, that you're someone they can count on no matter what. And that kind of strength is deeply attractive. It inspires trust and confidence.
It's like that Seneca quote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." It's about embracing challenges as opportunities for growth.
Yes, and when you emerge from those challenges stronger than before, it makes your presence all the more valuable. People miss that stability, that sense of knowing you'll be there for them through thick and thin.
So don't shy away from challenges, face them head on, and let people see what you're made of.
Exactly. Resilience is a quality that truly shines in times of adversity, and it's a quality that sets you apart from the crowd.
Okay, last principle. What's the final piece of the puzzle when it comes to becoming unforgettable?
The source concludes with the concept of consistency in character.
Consistency in character, what does that mean exactly?
It's about being true to yourself, about living in alignment with your values. It's about being the same dependable, trustworthy person day in and day out.
So no Jekyll and Hyde transformations allowed.
Not if you want to be unforgettable. Consistency in character creates a sense of security and trust. It lets people know who you are and what they can expect from you.
That consistency builds trust, which is the foundation of any solid relationship.
Absolutely. And it goes back to that sense of reliability and stability we talked about earlier. People crave consistency because it brings a sense of comfort and predictability to their lives.
So if you want to be remembered, be genuine, be consistent in your actions, and let your true character shine through.
It's a simple yet profound formula for creating lasting connections and making your absence deeply felt.
This has been like, wow, an incredible journey through these Stoic principles for becoming unforgettable. It's amazing how these
it really is.
Seemingly simple ideas can have such a profound impact on, our relationships and personal growth.
It's not about manipulation or playing games,
Right.
but about becoming the best version of yourself. Cultivating those qualities that make you a valuable and cherished presence in other people's lives.
Yeah, it's like we've uncovered a secret code for deeper connections and a more fulfilling life.
You could say that it all comes down to embodying those Stoic virtues we've discussed. Self-sufficiency, emotional intelligence, mindful communication, resilience, and consistency. These are the traits that make you truly unforgettable.
And the best part is, like, these principles aren't just applicable to romantic relationships.
No, not
They can enhance, like, any type of connection, friendships,
Yeah,
family relationships,
for sure.
even professional interactions.
Absolutely. It's about becoming the kind of person who leaves a positive impact on everyone they encounter.
So for you listening, what stood out the most from this deep dive?
Yeah.
Which principle resonated with you on a personal level? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.
And if you're ready to embark on a journey of self-discovery and unlock your full potential, hit that subscribe button for more deep dives from Life Codes. We're here to guide you every step of the way.
Remember, becoming unforgettable isn't about seeking attention or validation. It's about embodying those qualities that make you genuinely magnetic and irreplaceable. It's about living a life of purpose and intention and leaving a positive mark on the world.